साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिग्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदताम् ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 4, verse number 37. So Sri Sukadeva Goswami is explaining how Kamsa reacted after he heard the voice of the girl Yogamaya, and then how he pacified Vasudeva and Devaki. Then he went, and next day morning he had a meeting with his all ministers. So they all suggested that we should kill all the children who are born within past 10 days or little more than that, and don't worry about the devas. They are only Kshemasura, only heroes in their house. They are not very powerful. Even Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, they cannot do anything. So in this way they were all boasting about their supremacy and greatness of Kamsa, that how the Devatas, they fear him, they drop their bows and arrows and fall at his feet, saying, we are afraid of you. So this is what we read. If there is any question on that before we begin. स तथापि देवा सापत्न्यान उपेक्षा इति मन्महे ततस्तन्मूलखनने नियुङ्क्षस्मान् अनुव्रतान्. So although devas are like this, they are not very strong, they are not heroic, they are afraid, but still we should not be negligent of them. Why? Because they are enemies. So you have to be always careful with the enemy. Today he may be weak, tomorrow he can become powerful, he can gain strength. So as they say that disease, death, fire, enemy, should not neglect them. So therefore he says sapatnyat na upeksha, because they are sapatnya, they have enmity. You can turn this off. It's making too much noise. So he says that this is what we think, manmahe. So tatastan moola khanane niyungsha asman anuvratan. So we are your anuvrata, we are your followers. So you please engage us so that we can uproot these devas, their very foundation, moola khanana. So na rahega baans, na bajegi bansuri. There is no bamboo, there is no flute. So if you uproot, you go to the very foundation of them and uproot them. So tadapi kshudrapi shatravo nopekshniya iti niti shastra riti anusarenaiva ityahu tathapi. So this is the niti, this is the diplomacy, or this is what wisdom, that kshudrapi shatravo nopekshniya. Even if enemy is weak, insignificant, still we should not become indifferent or negligent, because he can attack any time, can make friendship with some powerful person. So therefore we should do something. Yatha mayonge samupekshito nirbhirna sakyate rudha padaschakit yathendriya grama upekshitas tatha ripur mahan baddha balo na chalyate. So they are giving some examples in this regard. It says yatha mayo ange samupekshito nirbhirna shakyate rudha padaschakit. So if there is a amaya, if there is some disease in the body or in some part of the body, and if upekshita, if it is not taken care of by people, then once it puts his foundation in the body, then what will happen? It becomes incurable. So na shakyate chikitsitam, then it is not possible to do chikitsa to cure it. So therefore you have to nip it in the bud. Once it grows, then it gains strength, because disease is gaining strength and body becomes weak. In the beginning you are strong and disease is weak, so you can take care of it. But if you neglect, then it will make the body weak and it will gain strength. So then it will be very difficult to cure it. Then they give another example. Athendriya grama upekshitas tatha. Similarly, if we have our senses and we don't tame them from childhood, from the very beginning, then once they grow up, then it is difficult to control them, because they also gain strength. They create their power, their samskaras are created, then it is very difficult to control. So they also should be controlled from the very beginning, should be trained. So ripur mahan baddha balo na chalyate. And these two examples are given to explain about the enemy. So it says that in the same way, mahana baddha bala ripur na chalyate. That ripu or enemy who has become powerful, so then he becomes strong, Mahan, then you cannot defeat him. It's not possible. So therefore now enemy has been born somewhere. This is what Yogamaya said, that he has taken birth somewhere, so you have to take care of him now. Once he grows, then it will be difficult. Only thing is that they did not know that he is born grown. So that's why they said we should strike now. So Rūಢapada Baddhamula. Rūಢapada means Baddhamula, or Baddhamula means strong root, powerful foundation. Once the foundation becomes strong, then you cannot shake. Like a tree. The tree is young, you can uproot. If it grows, you cannot uproot it. It has spread its roots. So what is the root of all these devas? Because they say that we should do Moola Khanana. We should remove the very root of these devas. Instead of fighting, one by one, if you can just get the root, they will be finished. So now they talk about the root. Moolam hi Vishnur Devanam yatra dharma sanatana tasya cha brahma go vipra stapo yagya sadakshina. So it's a very logical statement. So it says that Devanam Moolam hi Vishnu, that the foundation of Devas is Vishnu, and that's because of him there is a Sanatana Dharma, Dharma which has no beginning. But the strength of Vishnu, that lies in Brahmanas, cows, Vipras, austerities, Yagyas and charities. So that means Vishnu, we cannot find him, because they already said he is Rahojasha Harina. He is hiding, so you cannot search him. But we know his root. Generally root is that which you cannot find. And you see the branches. But here root is available, and the branches, etc., they are not available. There are devas, where is Vishnu, but the root is here. So these are Brahmanas, cows, Vipras. Brahma also means Veda. So it is Veda cow, because there is a word Vipra. So there is a Vedas, cows, Brahmanas, austerities, sacrifices, charities. So if we can destroy these things, then Vishnu will be destroyed. And when Vishnu is weak, then Devatas become weak, because he is their strength. So therefore let's attack all this. So one person makes mistake, another person suffers. This happens. So Ravana is the one who stole Sita. Problem came for the ocean. What was the problem? Ocean did not do anything. But Rama became angry at him, made a bridge on him. So one person commits offense, sometimes it reflects in another one. So like that, the problem is whatever with Devatas, they are enemies of Devatas, and now Brahmanas will get the hell because of them. Or children or cows. So dharma sanatana iti dharma eva tam jivayan tasya moolam ityartha. So he says that it is dharma which keeps Vishnu alive. So if we destroy dharma, then Vishnu is finished. When Vishnu is finished, then Devatas are finished. Tasya dharmasya moolam vedadaya. And the foundation of dharma is Veda. So Veda khilo dharma moolam. Manusmriti says that it is the Veda which is the moola of the dharma. That's what Purvamīmaṁsa says. Athato dharma jijñāsa, right? So that dharma jijñāsa is in Purvamīmaṁsa, which is study of the Vedas. And they said that the essence of Veda is an injunction. So this is also stated by the ministers of Kamsa. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan brahmanan brahmavadinah tapasvino yajñashīlan gascha hanmo havirdugha. So now they are saying that therefore, O king, we should kill the brahmanas and brahmavadina, those who teach Veda, and tapasvis perform austerity, and yajñashīlan, those who engage in doing yajna, and cows, because cows are the one which give havi. You need ghee. So without ghee there is no yajna. So kill the cows. You cannot do the yajna with buffalo ghee or goat ghee. You need cow's ghee. So therefore asuras, they attack cows, brahmanas, and teachers of the Vedas. And we have to do it sarvatmana, with full effort. Atma also means effort. So it means we should not leave any stone unturned. Should apply all our force to destroy this. Tesam api madhye brahman vadhenaiva sarve nakshanti ityaha tasmaditi. And among all of them, these brahmanas are the root cause of everything. Because if brahmanas are not there, what Vedas will do? Vedas are not going to come to you walking, please study us. And who is going to do the yajna? Brahmanas are not there, because they are the one who teach. And let there be cows. If brahmanas are finished, what are you going to do with the ghee? So therefore it says that destroy the brahmana. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan brahmanan. So number one on the hit list is the brahmana. So these are brahmanas who do yajna. Number two, brahmavadina, who teach. That is less. There are more who do yajna. But how many people teach? Because there are not many to study. But anyway, they are in the second in the hit list. So if these two are taken care of, then no problem. Some brahmanas do tapasya, so destroy them also. And then yajñashīlas, gascha hanmo havirduga, and finally the cows. Kincha yajnanam karanam havi tasya gava iti tascha vadhya iti ahu. So the cause of the sacrifice is havi, which is ghee here, and that comes from the cows, therefore they should be killed. Vipra gavascha vedascha tapa satyam dama shamah shraddha daya titiksha cha kratvascha harestanu. So these are considered as the body of Vishnu. Which are the Vipra? Brahmanas, cows, Vedas, austerity, truthfulness, control of senses, control of mind, Shraddha, faith in Shastra, Daya, compassion, Titiksha, tolerance, and Kratu is sacrifice. So these are, they say these are Harestanu, these are the body of Hari. Means his body is made of these things. So if we attack this, then that is the way to get Vishnu. So Brahman vadheva tasya sharir pato bhavi tyahu viprayat. So killing the Brahmanas is as good as destroying the body of Vishnu. So with that he speaks this verse. So this verse is showing the difference between Devi culture, Devi Sanskriti and Asuri Sanskriti. So Devi Sanskriti is based on Brahmanas, cows, Vedas. Brahmanas tena Vedascha Yagyascha Vihitapura. So Brahmana, Yagya, Veda, these are made from Om. Om Tat Sati Nirdesha. This Om Tat Sat is the instruction. From that come all this. So they are against this. So now they're in some places in America they have allowed yoga in the school, but they have banned chanting Om or doing Surya Namaskar. Say this is religious. That's not allowed. Sahi sarva suradhaksha yasuradvid guhashayah tanmula devataha sarvaha sheshwarasa chaturmukha ayam vai tadvadhopayo yadrushinam vihimsanam. So Sa here means Vishnu. He says Vishnu, he is the in charge of all the suras, sarva suradhaksha. He is the head. And he is Asura Dvit. He is the enemy of Asuras, therefore he is our enemy, because we are the Asuras. And he is Guhashaya. He hides in the Guha. Guha means cave. Here it can also mean the cave of the heart. Means he does not come in open. Does not come in front. Tanmula Devata Sarvaha. All the Devatas, they are rooted in him. Seshwaraha, and the Ishwaras like Indra, etc. And also along with Brahma, Rudra. All this, the foundation of everybody is Vishnu. Ayam vai tadvadhopayo yadrushinam vihimsanam. So he says that this is the means, this is the solution to kill him. This is how he will be finished. And then by this the rishis, they will also be killed. When Vishnu is killed, then the rishis, the sages, they are also killed. So this is their plan. So Asuric people, they attack the Vedic culture, and their attack is on all this This is how Kali Yuga progresses. So Rishinam Vihinsnam iti sarmulasya Vishnorapi mulatvatiti. So why they are saying Rishinam Vihinsnam? So he says that they are the Mula of the Vishnu also. Vishnu is the Mula of everyone, the root of everyone. Then his Mula is the sages. Earlier they said Brahmanas. So if these sages are destroyed, then Vishnu is destroyed. Vishnu is destroyed, then you have no fear. Because you can defeat Yamaraj and you cannot kill him. So this is the plan. Shri Shuka Vacha Evam Durmantribhi Kamsa Saha Sammantra Durmati Brahma Himsam Hitam Mene Kalapasha Vritosura. So in this way, Kamsa, who was Kalapasha Avrita, who was circled or bound by the rope of time or death, that Asura, he considered killing of the Brahmanas as beneficial for him. So this is called Vinash Kale Viparita Buddhi. That when it is time for destruction, then mind acts in improper manner. It doesn't give you good advice. So when karma has to manifest in a particular manner, then one person's buddhi, intelligence becomes like that. So karmanusarani buddhi. Buddhi functions according to karma. It influences that. So now his destruction is coming, so he is thinking that this is good for me to destroy the Brahmanas. Brahma himsam hitam mene. So evam durmantri bhi kamsa saha sammantra durmati. So he is durmati, who has ill intelligence. He had this meeting, counseling with his mantris, who are also durmantri, giving bad advice. So he has bad intelligence, and then on top of that he is getting bad advice. So double problem. First the intelligence is not working, and then the advice is given. That is also not good. So therefore his Kalapasha Avrita is bad time has come.
Babaji, what is this dhatu mene?
Man dhatu. Mene menate menire. Instead of mamana becomes mene. Eto. A becomes a. Nalatusus. Naijita to I becomes a. Becomes mene. मनोबोध ने संदिश्य साधु लोकस्य कदन प्रियान काम रूप धरान दिक्षु दानवान गृहमावेशत. सो साधु लोकस्य कदने संदिश्य, instructing them to destroy or trouble the saintly people who kadanapriyan, who like to destroy. So who like to engage in violence against sadhus, they are called here as kadanapriya, and they are kama rupa dharan. So these asuras have the power to change their form. at will, like Putna. Right? She took the form of a very beautiful lady dressed nicely, that all the cowherd ladies were impressed, thinking that some heavenly goddess has come to have darshan of Krishna. So they have this ability to change form at their will, Kama Rupa Dhara. So he engaged them, all these Danavas, sent them in different directions that you go and destroy, and then he entered into his own palace.
Babaji, quick question. Is this Kamrupa Dharan, they perform some austerities or some siddhi they acquire so they can do this? Is there some? Because I think in 18 siddhis, this is not stated. A list of 18 siddhis.
Yeah, this is also acquired. So every species has got some siddhi by birth. Just like birds can fly. Right? So for us it is a siddhi. We cannot fly. Yes? The fish can swim effortlessly. It is a siddhi. 24 hours can stay in water. So like that, these yakshas, rakshas, gandharvas, kinnaras, asuras, they have some siddhis by birth, naturally. Then they have not done any special tapasya. They do also special tapasya like Hiranyakasipu was doing. Then they get some more siddhi, some boon they get. Otherwise they have some powers just by the dint of their birth. It's like if you go to some wealthy country, just by being there you get certain rights, right? The government will take care of you. If you have children, they will educate, all these things. So it's a siddhi just by being there. So asuras also have that. Kamrupa Dhara. Danavas, the descendants of Danu. Tevai raja prakritaya tamsa moodha chetasa satam vidvesamacheru aradagata mirtyavaha. So they are all raja prakritaya. They are very rajasic by nature. They are born like that. Like you see monkeys, how rajasic they are. They are so rajasic that they just like to destroy. They are all the time trying how to enter in the house, room, garden, any little. If they find little hole, they will somehow manage to go inside. Right? We had that in that building. I have to again close that. And all the time trying to uproot the net. So they are just rajasic by nature. They shake it, then jump, then run. This is their pleasure. This is their fun. So these asuras are also like that. They just love it. They take pleasure in destroying, killing, troubling others. Then they will laugh that we did this much. So tevai raja prakritaya tamsa moodha chetasa. And also tamasic and moodha chetasa. Right? There are 5 types of cheta. Right? Kshipta, moodha, vikshipta, ekagra, niruddha. 5 types are described in Vyas Bhashya. First sutra, Atha Yoganushasana, in the commentary it describes there are 5 types of chetas. Call it Panchabhumika. So one of them is called Moodha. There is Kshipta, Moodha, Vikshipta. So this Moodha means confused. They don't know what is the purpose of life. So therefore satam vidvesham acheru. So this cheru is also the same, similar like mene. So chachara chertu cheru. So vidvesham acheru, they engaged in vidvesha with whom? Satam. And aradagata mirtyava. Why? That their mirtyu, their death has approached. So when death comes, then death also will find some reason. Something has to happen for dying. Your heart stops, cannot breathe, like lung problem or some other problem. So there has to be some excuse. So now all these people, their death has come. Right? Kalo asmi. Who is the death? Krishna says Kalo asmi. So death has taken birth. And it's not very far away. Arat agat mirtyava. He came just very, like one day before. Not even one day, last night. He came. So this is the mirtyu who has come. So therefore they have to act in this way, so that they can be killed now. So this will be the reason for their death. Otherwise, how will they die? So bhitam rajanam ashvashayati arat ityadina. So he says that when Parikshit Maharaj, he heard all this, then he became afraid. Why? Because although he knows the story, everything, but Krishna is also his relative. Parikshit was saved by Krishna. Parikshit is also his grandmother's brother. Right? Subhadra's brother. Subhadra is the grandmother of Parikshit. Right? He is son of Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's mother was Subhadra. So little fear came that what these people... Also fear came that now they are going to kill so many children. And so even if you know something, even if you know what really happened, if you watch a movie still, some fear comes. Although you know it's just a movie. Or you may even know what is the end result, even in the movie. Still, right? So Parikshit Maharaj also felt like this. So therefore he says, Arad agata mirtyava. That their death is stalking nearby, somewhere. Therefore they behave like this. So iti sarartha darshinyam harshinyam bhakta chetsam chaturtho dashme skandhe sangata satam. So in this way, the Sarartha Darshini commentary on the 4th chapter comes to an end.
You missed the verse number 46.
No, it's coming. Prabhuji, coming. Don't worry.
I thought you read the commentary. Yeah.
Because commentary is ended there. The sloka is not ended. He doesn't comment on the next sloka, so he ends it there. So this next sloka is very important. Ayuhu shriyam yasho dharmam lokanashesha evacha hanti shreyamsi sarvani pumso mahadati kramaha. So very educative sloka, practical, because we have tendency to forget this. So mahad atikrama means to transgress, which actually here means to do an offense, to cause trouble to somebody. So here he says that to trouble, to cause distress, to offend, mahat. Mahat in Bhakti Sandarbha Jiva Goswami describes there are two types of mahat. Jnani Mahat, Bhakta Mahat. The followers of Brahma, they are Jnani, they are one type of Mahat Purushas. And those who are devotees of Vishnu, Vaishnavas, so they are second type. So if you commit an offense to them, if you cause trouble to them, then what happens? Then your lifespan diminishes. Then your good fortune goes down. You lose your fame. Your piety is destroyed. And loka nashisha, all auspicious things which can bring some good position here in this life or next. So all this is destroyed. Hanti shreyamsi sarvani. All good things are destroyed by committing an offense to a Mahat Purusha. So this is the conclusion of this chapter. And these people are doing offense to Mahato Mahiyan, Krishna. He is the greatest of all the Mahat. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, who is bigger than him. So therefore they will lose all this. So Ayush Shriyam Yasho Dharmo Lokan Ashase Evacha Hanti Shreyamsi Sarvani. Sarvani Shreyamsi Hanti. So this destroys everything. Mahadatikrama, Pumsam Mahadatikrama. So that is the last sloka of this chapter by Sukadeva Goswami. If there is any question on this.
I have a question about the term asura. It is used in two ways. So here, when we speak about asuras, as you just explained, we're speaking about the different species. These people already had cities from the birth, and they're different than human beings. But then we also know the term asura as mentality. But outwardly, they look the same, and it's just their mentality. So my question is, was there a specific time when this changed? Because nowadays, these kind of asuras are not found anymore. Nobody's born like that. But people have this asuric mentality. So did this change over time, that more and more, as it's said now, we have divine and asuric qualities both in us? How did this happen? Or is it, do they still exist somewhere and we don't know about them?
Yeah, they still exist. They're still there. Just like Devas are there, Asuras are also there. It's not that Devas are only there and there are no more Asuras. They're always there. Otherwise Devas will become Asuras after some time, because then they will think we have no enemies. Then they will become frivolous. So sometimes one party becomes powerful, sometimes another party. Jayakalesu Sattvasya, 7th Canto, in the first chapter it is described like that. So they are there, but also we have to know that Deva qualities and Asuric qualities, they are also there, and they are also there in them also. Asuras also have some good qualities, and Devatas also have some Asuric qualities. You hear all the time Indra doing this. He killed this, what was the name of that? The son of Tvashta. Right? Vishwarupa. Right? So this is a Deva quality or Asura quality?
Yeah.
Vishwarupa was his guru at that time.
Mm.
Right? When you do yajna, then you accept that person as your guru for that ceremony. You have to actually take Diksha for that period. Diksha is different type, that's a specific Diksha just for that. He killed him. So that's not a divine quality to kill a Brahmana. And then he killed Vritrasura, who was a devotee, who was singing such nice prayers. Right? He killed him. So then he has to run. Brahmatya was after him. So you see all these people also doing some goofy things. Then you also see asuras doing good things. So it's just a percentage, because asuric quality, daiva qualities are coming from the gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. And they're all everywhere. Divi deva subab puna. There is nothing in Divi deva which is free from them. Everything has got all three gunas. So sometimes one guna becomes prominent, then person behaves like that. Sometimes another becomes prominent, then it behaves, but generally one is predominant. Otherwise, rajastamascha bhibhuya sattam bhavati bharata rajasattam tamascha tamasattam rajastatha. So they are all overpowering.
And Babaji, the species of asuras, do they exist in some other loka?
Like you hear that Bali Maharaj is there in Sutal Loka. Right? He was sent there by Vamandev or Trivikram. Vaman became Trivikram. Then he sent him, he says, you go to Sutala. So he is there with his party. And he will take over next Indra post. Now Indra can be safe, because Vamandev is guarding him. Right? He's supposed to be standing at his gate. So there are two ways to look at it. One is that he is his gatekeeper, one is he's just making sure he doesn't get out and trouble Indra. So whichever way you want to see. So they're there. Anything else?
Babaji, I was asking whether, based on what you just said, can one say that that the devatas are devotees of Vaishnavas?
Yes, devatas are devotees. That's why they accept Vishnu. And that's why Vishnu helps them. He took birth as Vamandev to help. I mean, the head of devatas is Indra, right? He's called Devendra. He is the chief of the devas. And his brother is Upendra. That is Vamandev is Vishnu. So they are Vishnu bhaktas. But they are not devotees like, some Uttam Mahabhagavats. They have also their material wishes. And as I was saying, that the qualities of, asuric qualities, divine qualities, these are mixed. So sometimes devatas also behave in a asuric manner. Sometimes asuras also have some divine qualities. But in general, they are Vaishnavas, and asuras are against Brahmanas or Vaishnavas. That's what we are reading here.
Thank you, Babaji.
Anything else? So we are having some problem here. Suddenly the electricity in this part of the building has dropped. Some problem. There is light in the other building, but not in this one. So anyway, at least Bhagavatam will stop here. We'll start the new chapter in the next class.